Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to this month's webinar of Sunday with BELTA series. Um, that are unfamiliar with BELTA, we are the Belgian English Language Teachers Association, based in Belgium, of course. And one of the things we do is we hold monthly webinars, professional development for teachers all over the world, including Belgian professionals and others in the ELT world. And today we're very fortunate to have with us Anna. Anna has been teaching for over 9 years in various contexts, including in her native Russia in Moscow. And since April of this year, she's been at the Tokyo campus of Clark Memorial International High School. She is a proud ITDI associate and can be found writing off and on for Teaching English website and for her own blog. And her blog website is listed on the notes in the lower right-hand corner. Anna is very enthusiastic about teacher and student self-development, focusing on reflection and writing about that reflection. So it is my pleasure to introduce you to Anna as she's going to talk about flash mobs. And I'm really excited to see what that means and how it works in the ELT world. So thank you, Anna, for being here, and I turn it over to you.
Thank you, John. It is my pleasure, and I'm honored and very nice to be invited by BELTA. Thanks a lot. And thanks to all the people who choose to spend an hour of their life in this online room listening to me and hopefully learning something in this little chat box and from the slides and from what I say. Yeah, I'm not really sure anybody's gonna learn anything new about flash mobs per se, but yeah, since the title is Flash Mobility Activities from Classrooms Around the World, probably I will be talking about activities in classrooms and flash mobs, but we'll see. I think we should start from you, actually. Can you please step up where your classroom is in this world and what kind of students you teach? What is your context? What do you do? I know a couple of people, but still, it's nice to have information about everybody. Can we share? You know, I teach in Tokyo now, and these are high school students. We have Belgium teaching teachers. Nice. And I know that Tyson has, Tyson teaches academic English, right? Hi, Hannah. High school students in Belgium, young adults in University College in Belgium, grade students in Seoul. And Hannah, I guess school children, right? Secondary school and grammar school kids, right? So in the Czech Republic. So we see that there are different classrooms, more or less I would say the same age range, right? High school kids and university students and secondary school. And business people in Paris. Oh, hi, thanks, Carlos. Well, that makes it interesting for me in terms of just reminding myself once again that 6 teachers and all of them are bound to be very different contexts and very different students around the world, which is in a way what flash mobility is going to be about. I think you might have an idea what a flash mob is. If somebody could type it up, that would be great, so that I do not speak so much. Yeah, Mickey loves them. Have you ever done any of them? Listening online. Well, I actually went through maybe it was the only flash mob that I've done in my life was when I was 13 or 14. It was in the shopping mall, and we were supposed to dance, I guess, at the same time. I don't really remember very well. Yeah, but in any case, flash mob has very little or nothing to do with what I'm going to talk about. This is a very unfortunate, misleading title to the project that we have. In any case, I just hope that from what you learned today about Flashmob ELT project, you know that neither you nor your students will be bored as those guys. And well, Flashmob ELT, as I said, has nothing to do with dancing in shopping malls or pillow fights. So just let me tell you what it is about in just a minute, because for now, I want to ask you how and where you usually find activities for your classes, because Flashmob BLT is a project about activities. So if you can type it up, that would be great. How and where you look for activities for your classes. The internet. Where exactly, I would say, on the internet? From conferences. Yeah, there are lucky people, I guess, who go to conferences. Not all people maybe attend, not all teachers, attend conferences, but that is one way to get activities for sure. ELT websites and course books, right. And thank you, Hannah. Twisting and adapting, that is something we're going to talk about. And books, Julia's mentioned books, resource books. Hi, James. And teachers' books. Right, so I guess everybody has got pretty much the same range. If we are not going into specifics right now, like what particular websites or what books, but I'm sure that you know there are plenty of places to go to for activities that would suit that or that this or that class or topic that you need to teach. Well, so the question would be like, do we really need one more place for activities? Do we need more online storage for activities? Because maybe there's been enough already. Well, for the recent 18 months or so, I have been looking for activities on this wonderful Flashmob BLT liner board, which is an online notice board. You don't have to get angry with me for making this terrible slide because you cannot read anything. This is true. It's not here for you to read, just to take a look at what it looks like. And well, Flashmob BLT is an online project which aim is to connect teachers in an asynchronous way, and just have them share activities that they do in their own classes that they have tried, that they have been happy with, how they go in their classes with their students, and type them up on online stickies, and share with everybody else who would like to read them and would like to try maybe on those online walls. And this is what it looks like. There is a platform, Lino.com, I guess, where I create an empty wall, an empty board, and then I share it around, and other teachers who participate in the project, and just everybody is invited to take a look, to share what they can share, and to contribute as well. This is the essence of the project, basically. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more, of course. And for that, I need to give you a pre-story of how the project came about. So it happened in November 2013. I was chatting on Facebook with Mike Correa, who's Michael Griffin, and it was like 10 minutes before class. I told him, I want to do an activity. I want to do something new in my class today. And I was feeling very energetic, and it was the morning. And if you tell me an activity right now, something that you do in your classes, I'm going to do it in my classes today. And well, that was very easy. 2 minutes and I had an activity, very new to me, something that I had never heard about. It was typed. And when I went into my lessons, in my classrooms, and I taught this, and it went down like a storm, like very well. It made me very happy. And that was when we thought that it would be interesting to have a place where teachers could share activities. But since it's a project, and any project should have some rules, to guide, to give a framework within which things will be happening, we thought that there should be some guidelines of what kind of activities should be shared. And this first initial activity that Mike shared with me was, like, I think set a perfect example of what this activity should be like. And so the criteria that Mike came up with are the following. That the activity should be generalized and adaptable and flexible in various teaching situations. Say, Mike's students are university students in Korea and Seoul. My students at that point were university students in Moscow, Russia, which sets them on the same age range, but my students are physics majors, and what we were doing in class, working on ESP, which is English for, we were doing physics language, basically. So it still makes them very different. But in any case, that very same activity went well in my class. Next criterion is the activity should be easy in terms of prep and tech. That first original activity required no copies, no specific technology, no PowerPoint, of course. So it was very easy, and I could just go in class and just do it. That it was like the preparation was reading the message and just thinking where I could put it in the lesson flow. Simple to model, explain, and use, so that you do not have to figure out for hours and read through the description of an activity and try to figure out how to go about explain it to kids and just understand it yourself. Very recently, I have read a couple of such activities that I could not set my mind to. How am I about to implement that in my class? So this is one very important criterion, I believe, to make it easy for teachers, and then the teacher, if the teacher understands, it makes it easier for students. Complete in a short amount of time. That is a flexible thing, I guess. So the first original activity that I did in class, shared by Mike, did not take very long, but it was flexible and could very easily be extended if you need, I believe. But initially, it should not take up the whole of your class time. And finally, it should not be focused around specific materials, around present perfect continuous or superlatives or the topic of going on a school trip or anything like that. Again, going back to that original activity, in my class, we were doing the text about electrodynamics, probably. And I'm sure that Mike did not probably do that. So there was no need in particular text to do the activity that he shared. And this is what we expect from the activities shared on the Flashmob BLT project. Now, the important part that I would like to share now and it's also about the rules of the project, is, and again, I have to go back to the initial story. Uh, the condition on which Mike agreed to share the activity with me was that I blog about it after I do it in class, like the same day or at some point, which I did. And that makes it really valuable for the project for me personally, because if you do an activity that I share, that I do in my class, or Hannah shared that she does in her classes in the Czech Republic, and then the way you do it is bound to be different from how Hannah does it or I do it. And so it will be really interesting and beneficial to everybody who's interested, of course, to read about your personal reflections and impressions. So this is an important part, which is not necessary, of course, but somehow desirable for me, if that counts, which it shouldn't probably. Well, in any case, I wanted to mention that I think this is really, it brings people closer, and it makes the connection stronger, so that you feel this is the moment where teachers are together and they care to actually speak about the activities, not just say what they've done. Now, shall we try something? If you wish, if you're not asleep yet. One of the activities that I shared was called hashtag it, and I do that in class. Now, can you please type in the chat box your sentences with your guesses, how you think these hashtags are connected with my weekend? Spider, shameless, Russia. Your guesses now. And yes, Carlos, those are pieces of sausage. I did not take that pic though. I took it from Flickr on Creative Commons copyright. Hi, Mike. These are, Hannah, all three different experiences. So there should be three sentences or three guesses. And if you can include these words into your guesses, that would be great. Mm. Yeah, I do. I mean, the correct answer is that they are not connected, but this activity is also about creativity. So nice, Hannah. You have a story, a logical sequence there. Nice. Carlos, is it true or is it a sentence, a guess about my weekend? Okay. I will eventually tell you the true sentences, of course. Now this is this American. This is this weird moment in webinars when multiple attendees are typing and it's silence in my room. You can connect me and Shameless, me too. Thank you. I guess. Yeah, you can type in as many guesses as you want. We've got all the time. Yeah, Hannah, you're very welcome. This is the idea. Miss Russia. That is not what I meant to say, but it is true, maybe, in a way. So, since attendees are not typing anymore, I can tell you that the correct guesses were, I guess, yeah. So my sentences would be, if I were doing it with students, my sentences would be the true ones. That I saw a spider on my bed this weekend, and I did not feel great about it, but I had to kill it because it was on my bed. The second one is that, oh dear, yes, Hannah, this is live in Tokyo. The second one is, that was nice from James. And actually, you got it. It is about TV show Shameless. And the fact is that this weekend I finished watching all episodes of Shameless. And I actually don't know if it's British or American. I would say American, I think, because it's in Chicago. Yeah. And the third one, Russia, is I planned my trip back home for vacation to Russia, back home to Russia for my vacation in August. Bought the tickets, almost. So this is an activity that I would be doing with my students. It takes very, very little time. And it can, in this way, you can explore grammar. For example, what I like to do with the students who are capable of doing it is to use in models of deduction. You might have blah blah blah. You might have been watching Shameless. You might have killed a spider, or you could have done something. Or maybe if the tag is very, very obvious, they could say, you must have done that. In other cases, it's up to you how you take that. If you give them the hint, if you give them the beginning of the sentence that they could complete for the guess, or not, or just do it right away, the way they feel it, like the way you are doing it. It could also be about questions. So I think that this gives a flexibility, that this activity has a lot of flexibility in how you do it. And also the hashtags could go longer, as hashtags do. It could go longer than one word. It could become phrases, which also, of course, depends on the students, on the level and such. And then what we do in class is, so this is the screenshot of the activity as it would be seen, as it would appear on the Flash Mobility lineup board. And you can look through it. I guess now you can read it. Yeah, Hannah, please do, and blog about it. Yeah, I see, Hannah. I don't think it's a problem really, because you don't really have to use hashtags. It could be just words, right? What I do with students also is just write 5 words about your something. It doesn't have to be hashtags. So this is what we do with students: to exchange, write the words, exchange, make guesses, exchange back, and comment, right? Prove guesses right, comment on the wrong ones. With students who are lower level, I also like to make to make them right, the correct sentences, or yeah, make corrections, and also give hints. Like, do not say this is wrong, this is what is true, but write a correction, like give a hint on what would help the other student get the right answer, then go back. So you could take it different ways. Could be pics or sounds. Well, yes, sure, it could be media. So this is why, this is what we're looking for in flash mobility type of activities, is that you can adapt them the way you like. So thanks for that. Are you ready for one more? Or do you have any questions about this? Yes, please. Thank you, Carlos. Let's do it. So you don't have 1 minute? Okay, you have some time. Can you please complete this sentence now in as many ways as possible? Webinars with BELTA are ready, steady, go. Yeah, your minute is up, but you see the idea. And the idea is that in a limited amount of time, you're asking for completion of you can give completion of various forms. If you scroll back, if you scroll the chat back, you will see that the first answers that you gave were all adjectives, descriptive, ready, useful, beneficial, varied, new, best, informative, thought-provoking, amazing, fun, helpful. And then you started extending that into longer sentences, and also use passive, or made using something, or attended by people, or something. So this is something that I like about this activity. You can either preset this, what you would like to see after, the words that you show to them, or you can just leave it open and see where it goes. And of course, that would depend on all kinds of beginnings that you give the students. And you can do that in groups or individually. And you gave a very, very enjoyable answers, I guess. Yeah, so thank you. It's actually interesting to read about what BELTA webinars are for people. Yeah, Hannah, this is a great, thank you. I guess the idea of this activity is that, yeah, they do not require course books, or they can supplement your course book material in a very, probably, like, hopefully engaging way. Is exactly what we're looking for and we're liking. This is what the activity that you've just done looks like on the flash mob BLT liner wall. Show the beginners. You can show it if you've got the screen. I don't happen to have screens in my school or never had one in university, but that doesn't matter, right? You just write it on the board. And yeah, they can work in teams because they can brainstorm more sentences basically. But again, as I said, if you feel like doing it individually, I believe that's also true and workable. And as for the points, I don't know. Personally, I'm not a fan of giving points to students. Always feel a little bit bad about the students who do not get the points. But that's up to you. You can do it. Yeah, I know. Feels somehow wrong to me. And well, just sum it up, maybe. Flashmob BLT at the moment comprises 4 online liner boards, and I will share the links with you right now if you wish. And the original one, which is here, consists of 20 activities, and it's closed for posting. There is no more space on the wall, and you can always post on top of other stickers, but that makes it difficult to read the ones that are below, and we need them. So this one, you can always go and see and take the activity and use it in your class. This is the initial one where you will see the very first activities. Then there was the second flash mob BLT liner wall, and it is open for posting because there is space left. And then there are two very special line of words. Why they're special? Because the activities on them were written up during workshop. So one of them was a workshop in Korea during Cody Seoul 2014, a workshop that Michael Griffin and I did. I hope that's right. Please, somebody check the links. And so this one is all activities written up within 10 minutes by participants in that workshop, which makes it a very interesting experience for me of looking back onto the time. And then one more wall is with activities written up by workshop participants in the Flash Mobility workshop during Emerging Forum in Moscow, Russia, the one that I did in March this year. And that has a lot. And what is interesting is that, like, maybe not interesting, what I'm trying to say is that is that you will not find the same activity on those 4 walls boards, because I read through them and I choose, and I do not post what has already been shared. So all of those activities, which makes it more than 50, probably more than 60 already, they're all different. Some of them would be in line with the criteria that I was mentioning earlier. Others not particularly so, but still very interesting and worth a try in classroom. And there are also 9 blog posts at the moment that teachers who have tried this Flash Mobility activities have tried them in their classrooms, and they wrote the blog posts, as I was telling you. Sharing is caring. And they wrote and reflected on how it went with their students, and they also wrote up how they adapted and twisted that fit their class, to fit the needs, or to make the necessary changes. So 9 blog posts, but I'm still hopeful there could be more. There is no pressure, of course, but it's always interesting to know what's happening in other classrooms, and this is such an easy way to share. And well, how I feel about Flash Mob BLT when I start thinking about it is that, yeah, it brings us teachers closer, because, yeah, we mentioned ELT websites, we mentioned books and resource books, and they're all great, of course, and the activities there that are inside on the pages, they have, of course, been tried in classrooms by teachers. But because they're written up as text, black and white, I read them, and they're somehow like impersonal. I cannot imagine them. Not always, I mean, but in general, sometimes I have this feeling that I cannot imagine my students doing these things. And when I open Flashmob ELT Liner Board, because these activities have been typed up by real teachers, somehow it brings these teachers' voices. And this may sound very strange, but this is true. It makes it very real and personal, and very, very, very good experience. And I'm more willing to try these in my class than some activities that I read about in the books. Not at all times, of course, and this is very subjective, but this is what it is. Another thing is that I know that Hannah, out of the list of the participants of this webinar right now, I know that thanks, Hannah. I know that Hannah has shared something. Michael, Griffin, and James also shared an activity. So if you look through the walls, through the activities, you will find something. And also, we asked teachers to write their names or Twitter handles if you have them. So in this way, it would make it more personal. And you can say thank you, or you can thank you, Hannah, for sharing that. And I can imagine you doing it in your class. Now, I hate to be doing it, to be self-promoting, but this is where Flashmob BLT should be found. You go to my blog, just annaloseva.wordpress.com, and there's not much up there. What you see is about page, homepage, and Flashmob BLT, where you click, and you will find links to the liner boards with activities which you can read and use, and where you can also post your own if you'd like. You will also find links to the blog posts that other teachers wrote. You will also find some words. You will find the criteria mentioned, so that what we're looking for in this project. And you can always leave comments there. For example, if you don't have your own blog, but you want to say something, you can leave a comment on my blog, and that's totally fine. So this is it. And now, what you can do after this webinar, which is going to finish soon, what you can do is to enjoy your Sunday and not think about it anymore. This is option number 1. Another thing is that you can use a Flashmob BLT activity in your class tomorrow, on Tuesday, or any other day. Something that you can find on the boards. Just use it and just feel free to take it or steal it, which is not really stealing because we're sharing. Another option is that you can use the activity in your class and write about it. You can write on your blog if you have it. You can leave a comment. You can write a Facebook post and share it. and if you tag it /BLT, we will see it. You can write a comment on my blog, as I just said, on /BLT page. And you'll also, if you wish, you can write a guest post for my blog, and I will publish it. And in this way, you will also share. Another thing I wanted to say, and if you have already read point 2.3, that's fine. But I wanted just to say that how I use. So I'm on my new job in Tokyo here, and this is a very, very different context for me. And what I did, sometimes I come into school and I have to teach a class that I never thought I should be teaching. Like, this is new for me, but this is an emergency in a way. And I don't even have time to open my laptop, to switch on my laptop and to look at the liner boards for activities or something. And sometimes, your brain just freezes and you cannot think of something to teach, and there is no help from course books, because there are no course books in speaking classes. So what I did for situations like this is that I printed out all flashmob BLT activities. I laminated them, and I have them on my desk right now. And it's so very helpful. It's out there for my colleagues to use, and it's out there for me. And when I need, or when I have the time, I just look through them, and the descriptions are. The explanations of activities are, in most cases, they're quite concise and clear. And many of those activities I already remember by heart, and I know. But this is very useful. Just one idea that how you can use that. Just print them out, not all of them maybe, but look through the activities on the boards and choose what you think is which feels good to you. I have not tried them all, Carla, of course, not all of them, not even 20%. So this is another thing. And finally, it's almost midnight in Tokyo, but in other places maybe it's not. So what I thought you could do, we could do together, is create a liner wall of activities from BELTA webinar participants. So I made an empty liner board, and since you cannot click the link, yes, here it is, I think. Thank you, John. Yeah, this is it. So it's empty. It only has one sticky with an introduction and from me. So you're all invited, if you wish, to go to that board and to to choose a color for your online sticky note, and type up an activity that you would like to share with the world, with other teachers. And then in the morning when I wake up, and if there is something there, I'm gonna share. I'm gonna update my flashmob BLT page on the blog, so it will be there, available for public. And also maybe we can do a BELTA blog post. And so your activity could be used by other teachers, and you would feel very nice, I guess. This was my idea, but of course it's not necessary. You're invited to do that, and I think it will be interesting for everybody. What you do in your class, what your students feel good about. Something that you enjoy doing in your own class and you think works well. And I thank you. Thank you, Mika, and I hope that we all can contribute to that and share and have interesting classes either this term or next term or whenever you have it. The boards are there online, They're not going to be dismantled. So they're there for use for everyone. So I thank you. I don't really know. I'm happy to answer any questions if you have, or you can contact me on Twitter. And you can also, if you blog or if you want to say something about FlashMob BLT, you can tweet and add the hashtag FlashMob BLT. So it's gonna appear on the feed. Thank you for this time. Hi, John.
Hey, Anna. That was very interesting. What great resources you presented us with. I know, like Mika and others, my school year is over, unfortunately. But come September, I'll be visiting that board often, I'm sure, to find some great ideas. Does anybody have any questions for Anna?
I was trying to follow, and sometimes was answering in the process.
Yeah, I think we got them all that were in the chat box. So Anna, on behalf of BELTA and all the participants today, I would like to thank you very much for this very interesting, informative webinar. And thanks for staying up so late there in Tokyo to be with us today. For everybody else, I'd like to remind you that this first is the last webinar of this school year for BELTA. We'll be back in September with a brand new slate of webinars, and I hope we see you all here. We're really looking forward to that. But in between, you can attend the summer web conference that we do in conjunction with TESOL Toronto, and Tyson, who was with us earlier today, but I think he's gone. The call for proposals is out there right now. The link is in the bottom right-hand corner. If you want to submit a proposal for our online conference on August 7th and 8th, the theme is assessment. Again, we're really looking forward to that. Last year's was very well attended, so we're hoping for the same this year. So please think about either attending or submitting a proposal for that. And yeah, with that, I'll say thank you all very much for coming here today, for giving up your Sunday afternoon. I know it's beautiful here in Belgium. I think I saw from Hannah that it was very hot there as well. That's great. And thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you all back here in September or in August for our web conference with TESOL Toronto. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. And again, Anna, thank you so much.
Thank you. I will enjoy my sleep.
Mika, the deadline for the proposals is June 30th, so it's this month. So anyone who wants to submit a proposal for the BELTA web conference on assessment, please visit the link. You can find it on our website as well, the BELTA website, which is, I'm going to put in the chat box right now. It's there as well. Plus, you can find it off the TESOL Toronto website as well. So please submit a proposal. We're looking forward to that as well. Okay, Anna, I'm going to say goodbye. I've got some teacher evaluation forms to still fill out for the day, so unfortunately I've got a few more hours of work left ahead of me.
Well, good luck with that.
You enjoy sleeping over there in Toronto.
Yes,
I
will.
Tokyo.
I will.
Sorry.
I will.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye,
everyone.
Anna, and bye, everybody.
Bye.